Hi, good morning and good afternoon to all our viewers today. My name is Hassan. I work with Student Connect here in the UK, and I've over here two very special guests over here. Florisa Martinez from Coventry University. She's the regional manager for South Asia and Southeast Asia. And I also have my usual partner here, Mazubin Priya. She works in the DAC office. She's a senior counselor. Flo, very good morning to you, and welcome to our Facebook Live, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And hi, guys. I'm Flo. I work at Coventry University, and I'm delighted to be invited today by Student Connect to talk about Coventry University and the opportunities we have for your students.
Great. Mazubin Priya, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm Mazun Priya, and I'm back here with another university. That is, today we're talking about Coventry University, and we're very excited to share some exciting news with you guys.
Great. So today, the flow of the session is what we do usually is go through with Flo some of the things about Coventry University and why international students should consider Coventry University. It's a very special partner for us. We are quite an important agent for Coventry University. We have worked with them for quite a few years now. And we've had a successful recruitment initiative with them. So in today's session, we're going to talk about why Coventry University and its entry requirements, some scholarship news, which is quite exciting for most of our international students, and also talk about COVID and coming into the UK and some of the programs in the application process. We'll ask some series of questions to Flo, but it's more of a conversation. So we are hoping the session should last about 30 minutes and then about 10 minutes for our questions. So Flo, first of all, why Coventry University? Why should an international student consider Coventry University, and what is special about it and its unique selling points? Could you elaborate to us, please?
Of course, I think that that's a very good question, and it's the one question that I will always get asked by my students and by agents. And the one thing I always tell the students is obviously depends on what the students want, but why I think Coventry University is a good option for a lot of our international students is the diversity that we have with international students, the global aspect that we bring, meaning that we make a students global citizens. Look, there's a little dog here.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, we'll ignore her for a minute. Going back to Coventry, so becoming a global citizen is for me what I think that Coventry University gives the students like the opportunity to become fully culturally aware and culturally minded. We have students from 130 different countries around the world. We have 30,000 students with 11,000 international students. That brings you a complete new set of ideas and experiences that you will have coming to the university and meeting different people from different places. Actually, we've been named in the top 30 best universities around the world for international students by the QS. And this is quite something we're very proud of because not many universities around the world are recognized as being so international. And you really arrive and you see people from everywhere. So that's one key thing that I think that the students should consider. Obviously, our rankings, we're in the top 30 best universities in the UK from the Guardian University rankings. We are also top in employability. So one key important thing the students obviously want after graduating is getting a job. And 97% of our students will have a job after graduating or going to further study after 6 months. So it's something that we put a lot of effort in preparing our students because we want them to become employable. We have a dedicated talent team that helps the students achieve this by preparing them for interviews, getting their CVs ready, and helping them get placements during their studies, because that's very important, I think, for our international students to gain work experience while they're in the UK. So we handhold the students through that to help them achieve that experience. So those are some of the key things. I could talk about why Coventry for a whole hour. So I think that just employability, key internationalization, and really good rankings, and very good rankings in certain subjects as well. So it depends on where the students are looking to study. You could be looking at coming to a top 10 university for mechanical engineering, a very like top 10 for architecture. We're in the top 5 for all the health courses like nursing, physiotherapy, occupational therapy. So it is one of those things that the students need to do the research always, of course, but consider in mind that the experience as well that the students get when they come to study in the UK is very important. And Coventry and London campus, because we also have a London campus, are among the top 5 best cities to study in the world. So London is number 1, And Coventry is number 5 student city in the UK.
Yeah, this is great.
Quite
Actually, because
exciting.
from my time as well, I've noticed Flo, the city has transformed itself into a more of a student city. It is so
Absolutely.
vibrant with so many different nationalities, and this is a melting pot of cultures that takes place at Coventry. And I think with the London campus as well, Coventry was one of the first universities to be very successful in having, a
Yeah.
branch campus in London. And I think we set off the other universities as well. And I think you are pioneers in that sense. It's also Coventry University special to me because I worked there for quite a number of years, and then before I in this job. So I completely agree with Flo in the sense that it has a lot of accolades, and particularly its faculties in health and life sciences and engineering. So many different courses, and it's there's so many different nationalities come together, and there's a huge mixture of cultures, and that makes Coventry very special. And also, if you want to talk about the city, now we are the city of culture for 2021. There's a series of things
Exactly.
happening. Are
Not
you
many
part of the
people
city of culture?
know. No, yeah, absolutely. Not many people know about this, and this is something that I've been actually telling the students for the past 3 years when I've been recruiting. Is like in 2021, we're the city of culture, and what does it mean? Well, there will be a lot of events happening around the city for the next year. So it just kick-started in June. And what it means is that all of our students will be able to attend a variety of number of events celebrating the culture of Coventry. There'll be concerts, exhibitions. We're actually recruiting currently 30,000 volunteers, and a lot of them are students that are at Coventry University volunteering for these events, which obviously will give them a great student experience and a work experience. And people from really all over the UK are looking into Coventry now for this. So I'm very excited to see what all the events that will be happening over the next year.
Surely. And there's a lot of investments going on, which means in terms there's a part-time employment as well, which is quite important for international students, actually. Of course, they do
Absolutely.
have the financial capability to come and study here, but that part-time experience gives that edge or, to add to more work experience. And I think with the City of Culture, there's a lot of job opportunities, and there's always new things popping up in Coventry. One of the best parts about Coventry is that its location as well, Flo. I think there's only, what, about
Absolutely.
55 minutes by Virgin
Yes.
to
So
London?
you can get to London within an hour, less than an hour, and then Birmingham is only 20 minutes away. Birmingham is the second biggest city in the UK. So if the students are looking for the still experience in the city, the big city life, you can go to London and Birmingham with no problem, but then you come back to Coventry and have that student city feel, which is a smaller, but I think that for students also, it's very important to look after the budget. And one thing that living in Coventry does is like it's way more affordable than any other city. You can live in Coventry and you can get a part-time job to also support your maintenance or like your studies. And I think that this is quite a plus because, of course, finances, and for the parents in particular, if there's any parents listening to us, your students or your son or daughter that want to come to study will be able to support themselves if they do get a part-time job, or if they don't want to get a part-time job, it's still affordable enough for them to be supported by you or by the sponsor body that gets them to study with us. Another thing is the city itself is compact city, and the campus of the university is in the city center, which means that students can walk everywhere, so they don't have to spend hundreds of pounds every month on public transport. So if the students want to get to from their accommodation to the campus, this is just 5-10 minute walk. And really, you see everybody walking or cycling, so that's very friendly for the
Yeah,
environment.
the compactness is good. Even though the campus is a city campus, most of the buildings are within, walkable distance between
Yeah.
buildings and everything else. I also wanted to vouch for Coventry University Student Support System. They have an excellent international student support team.
Of course, we do. You were part of it, yeah? We do.
Yes.
It's very important because it's not just me telling you, come to Coventry. You could decide, make up your mind, and you decide to come. But what happens when you're actually here is that you will get the support you need from this international student support team, from your academics, from anyone in the faculties, from your new friends that you're going to be meeting. And that makes the student experience as a whole much, much better. And actually, we won University of the Year for student experience in 2020. And that's something that we were very proud of because we know how hard we work to keep our students happy and supported. And so we try our best always. And it's never perfect, but I think that for the majority of the students that you speak to and talk to, especially during the past 12 months with the pandemic, they have been really well supported by the team of the student support and international student support.
Yes, and I think that's very important in today's time. I think a lot of parents are anxious about this COVID and their kids traveling to the UK, and how if they have any
It's not
trouble,
there.
will they be supported? And I think there's a lot of welfare advisors. There are like so many different places you can in Coventry you can get help. You can get help in Students' Union. You can get help with the central welfare team of the university. For more specialized support, international student support, even including immigration and everything. And that is very vital. I wanted to touch base on another thing that is very unique to Coventry is its sabbatical officers. Now, sabbatical officers are those people who are elected to the Students' Union office. And I think Coventry University a few years ago was one of the first universities to have majority of their, Students' Union sabbatical officers, the presidents, the vice presidents, all international students. And that is an indication of how strong hold international students have in this university, because it does not happen in every university flow. It was one of those. I was so happy to be part of that process. They stand in elections. They're part of the university life. Unlike many other universities, where international students are a bit marginalized in terms of numbers, they're a minority. But
Yeah.
so
No,
that is
not here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Coventry.
Exactly, you are right. Like you see, the majority of the people that are running the student union are international students, and it
Yeah.
brings such diversity. So obviously, we still have like the home students. We're not like completely overtaken, but the majority are international, and I think that's a very good sign, because you see the passion and they want to make a difference, and they're working really hard. So these are hardworking students that not just have the time to dedicate themselves to studies, but also have the extracurricular activities. And extracurricular activities are part of your university education journey, and that should come as a whole holistic thing. That I always say to my students when I'm like counseling them is that get involved with the student union, get involved in sports, get involved in societies. It just makes the experience so much better. You meet friends, you gain experiences that you don't get in the classroom, and that's another thing that I think we do really well.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I think for many international students coming to the UK and getting the degree is just one small part of it. I think you learn a lot outside the classroom than inside the classroom. And that entire university life is what makes international education so exciting, transnational education, getting those friends from all over the world, networking, finding those experiences. And I think UK in itself is a great country for that. I know we've talked about Coventry and Coventry as a location, but UK as a study destination in itself is fantastic. First of all, for South Asians, this is the closest to their home country, if they're from Bangladesh or India or any other South Asian country. And so that is a major plus. And the study duration is usually 1 year less than other countries like the US, Canada. Undergraduate is 3 years, and postgrad is 1 year, which means it significantly reduces your financial pressures of maintaining yourself and paying those fees. And on top of that, Coventry gives a lot of scholarships as well. I know this. About a few years ago for Bangladesh, there were special scholarships. I want to jump into this right away, Flo, before we go into entry requirements, because it is a hot topic. All of our international students want to ask about scholarships, and they often would inquire about scholarships at Coventry University. So what is new? I know things are still under discussion. So is there any update for us today?
Yes, so I'm happy to tell you that as of tomorrow, there will be launching the scholarships. I have the information so I can share with you and with your students and with your audience. This is like literally hot from the oven. So this is like finally, I know you've been asking, and many students have been asking. And I have to say, like, we're a little bit late into announcing our scholarships, but I think that a lot of the time we want to kind of make sure that we develop the right package, and especially in the current pandemic situation. So what we're gonna do is as follows. So we have a variety of different scholarships that you will be able to have a look on our website, and specific with the terms and conditions. The majority of our scholarships, you don't have to submit an application for them. You don't have to like have a certain criteria, only the merit award. So we have an award that is based on your grades. But the majority of the rest, which are what we call territorial awards. So I would like to call it territorial award rather than a scholarship, and accommodation awards. Because we know at the moment for South Asia is very difficult with the current red list situation. So if you're aware, if you come into the country from certain countries in South Asia, you have to isolate in a hotel for 10 days, and you have to pay that yourself. So what we're trying to do is also give the students the opportunity for all of those in the red list to get £1,750, which is basically the cost of the quarantine accommodation, transferable to accommodation in Coventry. So we would give you £1,750 voucher for the accommodation at Coventry University. So basically the money that you're paying in the hotel kind of transfers to the accommodation at the university. And then you don't have to apply for it. You don't have to like make any separate kind of like adjustments, as long as you're a student from a red list country and you pay your deposit by the, I believe is 31st of August, then you can get access to this voucher. Now, that is one accommodation option for the countries that are in the red list. What happens to the others who are not? There will be territorial awards for £1,500. Those as well will be given as a first come, first serve for anyone that pays a deposit before the 31st of August. Don't worry, I'll email you all of this, Hassan. So you have to remember. And we also have the same for the London campus, okay? For territorial awards, £1,500 for everybody that comes into the territorial awards. Normally, the territorial awards are countries in Africa. We will include Nigeria. We will be including countries like South Asia, Pakistan, Bangladesh. And then there's also the Academic Merit Award, which is for everybody, which is £2,000 for students with very good grades. What are very good grades? Say, for example, if you have your HSC in Bangladesh, you have to have like 70% or above grades to be able to achieve the grade to get the scholarship. And same happens for like students in India, where you have completed the standard 12, would be 70% or higher, or 75, I think it is. There will be on the website the actual entry criteria for those. So it's three types of scholarship. We give accommodation for red list countries, accommodation discount, 1,750. Your territorial award for both London and Coventry of 1,500, and your merit award for any high achieving students of £2,000.
Oh, wow. So I just wanted to confirm, just to unpack it a little bit. So can they all combine all the three, or they need to only pick one?
So they will have to pick one, of course, the one that they prefer. They have the option, obviously, if they want the tuition fee discount with the territorial award, that's fine. Or if they prefer the accommodation voucher, that's also possible. I'm waiting for confirmation. There's one more thing that we will be offering as well, is for certain students for undergraduate study at Coventry. They may be able to get a full year of accommodation fully funded. A full year of accommodation.
Oh, wow.
So this is almost confirmed, but I just want to make sure that once it's on the website, I will let you know. But it's going to be another initiative. We're going to have a limited number. So I think it's about 400 rooms that we have as an option for students for undergraduate, the full year of accommodation offering. So, and I will also let you know then the criteria for this. I think as well, the criteria will be mainly pay your deposit by a certain date and you get it guaranteed.
Okay, so let's, I'm just adding Priya as well. Sorry, the logo is covering up, so I'm going to bring
Hi, bye.
I can move towards the side if you want.
Yeah, maybe you move. Our logo for Coventry University is much larger. It's the phoenix that's covering Priya's face. I wanted to unpack a little bit more on scholarships. So, Flo, this is great. So you said a lot of deadlines. That is 31st of August, 2021 for the deposits. So the 1,750 for the red list. So the students come in and they quarantine at their own cost. However, that fee somehow gets back to them in a different way, where they get into a Coventry University managed accommodation through FutureLets, and so that 1,750 is taken off, and they have to stay for the whole academic year. So that is good, which means in a way they have not lost the money, and they can travel to the UK, which is good. So it is balancing and evening out. The other one is 1,500 territorial scholarships that they could get based on their
country of nationality.
Again, and then the final one is the meritorious one, which I think should aim for all our high quality students who have achieved that academic scholasticity and has really performed well in their studies to get that 2,000. I think most of our students who have done well would go for that 2,000, which is a maximum scholarship. And you said you could not combine all three or combine two. It has to be one award.
Yeah, it's only one award because we have so many students. Obviously, everybody deserves a chance to get a scholarship. So, and that's why they're also first come, first serve. So we encourage the students to pay their deposit and then select which one they want. And if they meet the merit award, so say your student has a very good grade and they prefer the merit award, that's fine. We can do that as like a discount, but then they wouldn't be able to elect accommodation or any of the other territory awards that we are offering. So it's just one per student, and it's for the first year only. So this territorial awards is 1,500 discount on the first year, or like the award will not be transferable for second year or third year. So that's the one thing that we do is just for the first year.
Okay, it's a one-time award. Okay, I got it. Priya has some questions, I think.
Yeah, so I'm back with some questions. So the general questions that we get asked is that what is the entry requirement for undergraduate students? Because we have students who has done their schooling under national curriculum. So what kind of percentage do you guys accept?
So we obviously, depending on the country that the students are coming from, we accept a variety of different entry requirements onto our courses. For international students who are watching perhaps from Bangladesh, we have the option of joining with their HSC. Okay, so once they have completed their HSC, they can join us as long as a 65% average to join the university. With Indian students, as long as you've completed your standard 12 with 60%. For example, for Nigerian students, you will have your WAG examinations, 5 subjects, as long as they're A's and B's, and the specific subjects like maths and English or physics, or depending on the course that you're going to choose. For example, the students, if they want to come to biomedical sciences, they'll have to have a biology grade there. So it's very varied depending on the country they come from. Obviously, we accept the A levels if they do A levels, because some students do in international schools. IB, International Baccalaureate. So it depends, but we have basically entry points from pretty much every qualification that you have around the world.
Yes, and I think the the website itself is very helpful for students as well. They can just simply go to their country and they can look up to their entry requirements, which suits their country as well. I think it's
Absolutely.
very easily accessible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can click on the website and you can see exactly what we're asking for you, for you to come. Obviously, as well, it's the same for a bachelor's degree, sorry, for a postgraduate course. So say you are from Bangladesh and you want to come and study in the UK. For a master's degree, you have to have completed your 4-year BA or BSc with 65% overall to join the studies. Or if you completed a degree in the UK, you want to come to study Coventry for the master's, as long as you have completed a bachelor's degree, that it's a UK equivalent, then you can come and study a master's with us.
Okay. And Flo, so this is for Bangladesh. As you know, we also have operating hubs in India and Nigeria, in Abuja and Delhi. Maybe if you could touch base on Indian entry requirements and Nigerian entry requirements quickly, post which we will jump to English and then we can carry on.
Yes, of course. So for India, like I mentioned, is a standard 12 with 60%. Overall to enter year 1. So that's something that we were accepting our students to go in year 1, as long as they finish their standard 12 years of education with 60%. For Nigeria, we accept the WAEC, the West African examinations, and that's 5 subjects with at least A's and B's. And we have obviously options. If the student don't have A's and B's, then we perhaps offer them a foundation course. What was the other country that you were mentioning?
Just India and Nigeria. Hopefully, we'll have more countries flow, but at the moment, we have India and Nigeria. I also heard that WAEC exams are being postponed towards end of August, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Sorry?
Because the WAEC examinations have been postponed to end of August, if I'm not wrong. I've heard this somewhere. So there's a bit of the COVID situation. Let's. Yeah, I think I hope I'm not spreading the false news here, but I've heard this. So I wanted to jump again onto the internal English tests, and I know because of COVID and everything's a bit slowed down, and the English language requirements. What alternative English tests you can conduct for our students, and how we can support in that area? Because I think this is the anxious part for international students, the English language part.
Yes, obviously every student that comes to study in England and the UK in general, they have to come with a certain level of English, and we expect every student to have some sort of qualification that proves that they have taken a test, or like, for example, just, the standard one that everybody thinks about is always IELTS, which is recognized around the UK in all UK universities. We also accept the persons, we accept the TOEFL indicator in these days, because everything, we understand that a lot of the IELTS in places where normally the students would go to take the test are shut down because of the pandemic. We're started to accept and move more to online testing. So Coventry University at the moment offers its own Coventry University English test online. So this test used to be done face-to-face. We would travel to Bangladesh, to India, and we would do the testing house. But at the moment with the pandemic, we can't travel. So we're offering them as an option to do online. And this is a very similar test to IELTS, so it's kind of benchmarked and modeled into the same system. So you do English listening, writing, speaking, and reading, and we assess your 4 skills, and then we decide whether you're eligible to join. Now, if you don't meet the entry requirement, we also have a processional English course available. So for students who may need to have an extra help for that, they can join the processional English. Now the 10-week processional English just started, so you got like it's a bit late for those who would be applying now for the 10-week, but we have a 5-week processional English starting at the end of July. So if a student just missed the mark by 0.5 in either test, we can accept them into the processional courses. The processional courses are also delivered online, so the students don't have to travel precisely for that. There is the option for face-to-face if they want to, of course, but there's also the option of doing it online.
Okay.
So is there any charge for students who wants to sit for the internal test?
No, the Coventry University English internal test is free, and it's you book a form online, and then you get all the details. I can share later with you guys the link to book the tests, and we are offering the service for students, and then they will have to have a very good internet connection, a camera, and a microphone. They have to have access to a laptop because they have to do it in a very secure environment. So when they get booked into the test, these students have to have an offer as well. So the student has to have gone through the process, got an offer, and then book into the test. The test will last roughly about an hour and a half, and there should be no one in the room with the student. They can't be like doing it in an office with other people, because then that would mean immediately that we will have to cancel that result, and the student won't be allowed to take another test. We try to protect the integrity of the test because it's online. And everything that the student does is recorded through the camera. So if the student is talking to someone else, or if there's someone in the room, that would null the test. So they have to be in a very secure environment. But this is explained to the students on the email that they receive when they book the test.
Great. So this is fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
So now I have a question that I mostly get asked by the students, because we are in a very different situation due to the pandemic and COVID-19. So there has been previously many restrictions to international students. So how is the situation now? And when is the last deadline that the student can enter the UK for their courses this September?
So the September, like at the moment, the situation is, because it's the summer, everybody's kind of getting ready and preparing to see what are they going to be able to do, whether they're going to be able to travel, because the red list could change. Means that maybe by the time September comes, the red list may have changed, and the students on how to isolate in hotels. Who knows? That's one thing that we have to keep an eye on the website for the government to keep track of the latest changes, and we're obviously always on top of that. If a student does decide to come, they have to be in the UK for the term starts on the 13th of September. So whether they enroll online or they enroll face-to-face, the 13th of September is the actual deadline, the actual start date. And then the deadline to enroll will be the 1st of October for the Coventry campus and the 8th of October for the London campus. So you have a few weeks extra to enroll, but we cannot allow students to enroll very late because they would have missed a specific classes, and we don't want them to fail. So what we do is set a specific deadline for enrollment, but the students can enroll online. So one thing I say to the student is, if you're still, even if you're planning to travel to the UK, you are waiting for your visa, you enroll online and start attending your lectures online. That's very important because every student now will get a link to enrollment online. As long as they have paid the £8,000 and it's hit the account of the university for like that, because they need £8,000 to actually enroll. So 4,000 is for the CAS, but 8,000 to enroll. So they have to pay that money. And once we have it in the account and he or she has met all the conditions, then the enrollment link gets released. And the student is asked to enroll even if they're still at home in their home country, because that will show that they're engaging with their studies. So even if they arrive a bit later with their visa situation, if there was or delay with the flight, or they find a cheaper flight a week after, as long as they're still attending lessons online, then that's fine. That's a flexibility we're giving our students at the moment. The students can actually stay studying online if they prefer for the first semester and join us later in January for January 22. But obviously the students want to be here. So if they have the opportunity to get their visa on time and travel, that's fine. but also we give them the opportunity to study online.
Okay.
The last date of entry is 30 September, and they can later on enter into the 10 days quarantine and then get their enrollment done.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well.
Yeah, so I was saying that the last date of entry is 13th of September, and
Yeah.
then they can go into their hotel quarantine or however arrangements are made for the 10 days quarantine.
So the quarantine, the 13th of September is the day that the course starts, and the 1st of October is the deadline to enroll. Even if it's online enrollment, the
Okay.
1st of September is the deadline to enroll. They don't have to be in the UK to enroll. So that deadline of 1st of September can be the one online.
Okay, great. So we got it. So the course starts on 13 September. They could enroll online and they can study at their home and then travel to the UK as long as they've been engaging and attending. All is well, and then they could come here. And Flo, I know this is all speculation. Do you know when face-to-face classes would start, or does Coventry have any plans on COVID-secure classes, or is it depending on?
We will be doing face-to-face classes, definitely. So the government of the UK, I don't know if you follow the news for those guys watching us all over the world. So the 19th of July is the day that the restrictions in the UK are set to be lifted completely. We're doing really well in our vaccination program, and so the Prime Minister is looking to lift all restrictions on the 19th of July. What this will mean for education is that we will be able to go back to the classroom, the teachers will be able to come back to campus, and the students as well. And life should look pretty much normal by the 19th of July. So that's the hope, okay? As long as there's no more variants showing up anywhere. But I think that this will be a huge, huge milestone for the UK government and for students as well, because they've been waiting to come back to just a normal life, enjoy the normal student experience of coming to the classroom, go out with their friends, that you like all of that. For September, we're aiming to have. So September will have face-to-face classes, but there will also be the option of online for those students who perhaps can't travel just yet. You know, for if you are in a situation where you can't travel for whatever reason, you can still start studying online and then join us at a later date. So that flexibility, I think, will remain for the rest of the time. But students will have face-to-face classes.
Cool. That's awesome. I think that's something that international students really miss, is having that experience of being physically in space. But hopefully things should improve from now on. Final point of touch is, again, with COVID, because you pay immigration health surcharge as part of your visa application, if you do get to the UK, you're considered as residents. And if you've not had the vaccination, you will have an opportunity and be invited to have the vaccination. I think a majority of the 30-year-olds have now been vaccinated and now moving towards the 20s, which majority of our students will be in the coming months. So hopefully you can get one of the two vaccines, AstraZeneca or Pfizer. But again,
the students will be able to get it. So I think now they're even moving to 18-year-olds. I think that's the latest I've read. So anyone that comes to the UK as a student, you are part of the NHS because you've paid your health surcharge. So what you need to do is register with a GP as soon as you arrive to the UK. You need to register with your new address, which will be your accommodation. So you go to your local GP practice. You can just Google it, like which one would be the one that's best for you. And once you're registered, you say that I'm a student now, can I get a vaccine? And that will be very straightforward. Once you register with NHS, you will get an NHS number. And that NHS number will help you book your vaccine online. Booking the vaccine online is super easy. That's how I've done it. That's how my partner's done it. So it's a straightforward process, and all international students will be eligible for it.
Great. Priya, next one, and we'll hopefully wrap up soon.
Yes. So the last question for me, is that Coventry is offering a lot of placement here with their courses. I have seen that many students are very much eager to join them. So how is the situation in the UK for the PSW, and how Coventry University is going to help the students to achieve their permanent jobs?
Yes. So placements 100% are option for our students. We have embedded placements in the course where we help each faculty will have what we call a talent team. The talent team will help the students achieve these placements. It's a process that the student has to go at the beginning of their second year. So once they start their second year, they have to start thinking of where they would like or what they would like to do in their third year, whether they would continue the third year or they would like to go into a placement. It's completely optional, so the student has a choice, so it's not like mandatory. But if the student does decide that they want to do that, they have options. They have options to do the placement in the UK. They also have options of that year doing 6 months placement overseas in another country, or study 6 months in one of our partner universities. So there are options for them. That's why they have to do it early in the second year, because it's a process that the talent team and the Center for Global Engagement will help them. So we have another team that's called the Center for Global Engagement, who helps students with exchanges
Yes.
and placements abroad. So all of this is a preparation of a year. The students need to prepare for that. It's the students, if they are determined, they will get it. Like, it's pretty much, as long as they want to, they will. If the student is not bothered, and if the student doesn't put the effort, then we're not going to magically give you a placement and there you go and work. The student also needs to be mindful that it's a lot of effort from their side, because they perhaps will have to go through an application process, maybe even an interview, but we will help them and guide them through that. The placements are paid. Like, a lot of the time, these placements are, the students will be earning money.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity for them to learn and really, like, understand how if they decide to work in the UK, what the British work life is like.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's important.
The opportunity.
Yeah, I think Priya also has been an international student. Priya, did you do a placement as part of your law degree?
No. I did not. I did not option that. It was acting as a solicitor is far too much working under the pressure, so I just opted out of it. But yeah, we were. So my university were hosting career options. There were classes every week. There were talks. There were a lot of opportunities, and I think if the students attend those classes, it's really helpful for them. I know it's
Yeah.
not mandatory, so most of the people, they opt not to attend those. So I think this is a very good opportunity if they want to enrich their CV. That is, of course.
Yeah, and I think Flo is absolutely right. International education is what you make out of it. You could be a student who just don't engage and expect things to happen. And I think in the UK, the independence, the individualism is quite strong. You have to have your own motivation and also have the own, willingness to go and try different things and constantly fail, but get up again and try again and again and again. I think failure is just an important part of like student life, and that's part of university life, to understand rejections and move on. But I think Coventry University is pretty good. I think the student services have I think they do have a career service with employability units that will check your CVs and help you with interviews. And there's a fantastic person called Chris Stevenson. I don't know if he still works there. I used to work a lot with him, and Chris used to help a lot of international students. So if you're an international student and Chris is still working, go see him. He will help you out. All
Absolutely.
right. I am aware of the time flow. Let's. Are you trying to say something?
So we have a question here that I think a lot of people have been asking. Do you guys accept Oxford International English Test for instead of IELTS or PTE?
Yes, we do. The Oxford International English Test is accepted. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's an answer for Mr. Hassan Shafiq Shoji. Yes.
Great. Oxford International. Okay, another one is that does Coventry University accept 4 years diploma after SSC for undergraduate application?
No, it needs to be HSC.
It has to be HSC. So they can't get advanced entry or anything like that with just a diploma. They have to have HSC.
They have full time.
Yes, correct.
Okay. There's no flexibility on that. I have one more question. Is that what is the visa process? I think. Don't worry, we will help you here at Student Connect. It's an entire process. I think as an agency, as a consultancy, we go beyond just helping you just get a visa and go there. We have our head office here in London, which means if you have any problems, you can just give us a call. We are here to support you, work closely with Flo and everybody else at the university. They will anyway support you. They have an excellent welfare system in place if you are if you need any help and support. So I think with your visas and stuff, we will help you. But of course, for immigration advice, you need to go to Coventry University immigration team. They will be able to help and support you with that.
If the
Flo.
students have specific questions exactly about like whether they're eligible to come, I know that a lot of the time it happens where the student may have studied in another university and then they left, or they've already got a master's but they want to do another master's. Then the progression needs to be checked. So we have a very good student support team that checks all of that for you. So if you're interested in joining university and you're not quite sure, you can always contact us and we will be able to tell you whether you're eligible or not.
Okay. One more question, Flo. Faria is asking, is foundation in science done from Malaysian universities except for doing bachelor degree?
It depends. So, foundation in science in a Malaysian university, it depends if we have an agreement with that Malaysian university.
Mhm.
Also, I would say that sometimes, because maybe perhaps this person is asking about a partner that we have that's got an agreed, progression from their foundation to us, which I'm not fully aware of. But if you have had a foundation somewhere else, I think you can apply, and we will analyze, sorry, your transcript and decide whether it's good enough or if you've covered enough modules and subjects to allow you to complete to the start of year one. Because sometimes certain foundation courses, we're not sure if they're equivalent to like the A level or high school level that you need. We have obviously loads of foundation courses that we approve from other institutions, so it would be probably on a case by case basis. So I would suggest that if you are interested in studying with us, submit an application, and we'll have a look at your transcripts.
Okay, great. All right. So, Flo, we have come to an end of this. As I promised, I kept it to 40 minutes. I know you are super busy. A question out of the blue. You have an amazing house. That's a great dining table.
Thank you.
Massive dining table. How many people is it sitting? Like 10 people? What are you having, steak dinners?
Yeah, you must like be hosting people a lot because I see there's a lot of chairs and it's quite a big table.
Just 6, but I think you probably can squeeze 8 if we put people on the ends.
Yeah, so do you like to cook?
I love to cook. I love to cook.
Tell.
And I'm originally from Mexico, and I'm a total foodie. So I love cooking, not just Mexican food, but really all sorts of food. And yeah, my passion is being in the kitchen.
It's nice. I don't know if you've been to this Mexican restaurant called Salmina's in Coventry. Please do try it. They do some authentic.
Salmina's, I've heard it. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's
It has
good.
my seal of approval.
It's great. It's great.
Thank you, guys. Another thing, that's a very important thing I want to say to international students. When you come to the UK is so international. Just a final point about like the UK overall. We have over 500,000 international students enrolling each year in the UK. It's a huge number of students from all over the world coming. They trust that the UK education is recognized all over the world. And the two things that I take away from students who would take the challenge or take the leap to come to study at 18 or 20, which you're still very young, it's the first time you perhaps left home, and it's the adaptability that you will have to have as a skill that you will carry with you, and adaptability and resilience you will carry with you up until your workplace, because adapting to a new country, a new culture, a new language, all of those two skills, even if it may not seem like much, but it is a huge thing. When you then move on into your workplace, when you decide that you perhaps want to start your own business, that adaptability and resilience will go with you forever. And obviously the language skills that are recognized around the world. So if you're wanting to come to perfect your English in England, is the best place. Don't go to America, come to the UK.
Yes, yeah. This is a great ending comments and wrap up comments as well. Of course, the UK is quite welcoming and it's quite safe in terms of international student safety as well. And there's a lot going on for the UK at the moment. So I guess with Brexit and everything, there could be opportunities. And also the university has started a visa scheme. I just forgot to mention this. Now you have your post-study work visa starting in another 8 days on the 1st of July. And at the end of 2 years, you might think, what then? It is the opportunity to build your future that at Student Connect also we promote. In fact, Coventry University has a new tagline on their Google, which is "Dare to dream big" or something like this. And
dream big because you can.
Because you can, and that's great. And at Student Connect, we are in the same ethos here as building a future. So after the 2 years of post-study work, there's a team at Coventry University that helps you with startup visa. So that means they can give you another 2 years visa to start a business. And that visa also allows you to work full-time and part-time. At the same time, you can also switch to skilled worker visa, which they support with post-study work visa sessions anyway. So that is some of the other things, positives of Coventry. I hope you all do come and join Coventry. I work there, fantastic university. Flo is there, you get to meet her, she'll support you as well, and a great location. I hope those who are seeing in Nigeria, India, and the UK today will do consider getting in touch with our counselors. I'm going to just scroll down the telephone numbers just in case you want to quickly have a snap at it. And Flo, thank you ever so much for coming and doing this for us. I know you're super busy today, and I'm glad that we were the first to get scholarship. All right, take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Contact the Student Connect.
Okay, thank you. Please do contact us. Have a good day. Flo,
Have a
Priya,
good day.
thank you. Good
Bye
evening
bye.
and good morning and good afternoon.